Hello YouTube, Kraegan here. Welcome back to my Let's Play episodes on Dyson Sphere program. This is episode 2. And if you can remember, the last time we played, we were still researching stuff, getting through our tier 1 technologies there, and we were looking at our power grid, which is not sufficient already for what we need. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and make smelters and assemblers once we get those researched. And we'll get our production automated here. We do need some more smelters though. We have 3 and we're gonna need more than that. Definitely more than that. But let's get these placed down.
You built a smelter, which can smelt basic materials, such as iron ingots and copper ingots automatically. While you want to make the raw materials and products get
I actually don't know if I want them there.
You need to use sorters and conveyor belts.
I may have to move that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move that tower a little bit. I want to have the smelters as close together as possible.
You have a building without recipe set. Please set the recipe you want. After selecting the recipe, you can use the less than key to copy the recipe and the greater than key to paste the next building that needs to set the same recipe.
Okay, we got our matrix labs. The assembler is going to be the next piece that we need. We really need that assembler to get researched so that we can place those down on the other side of our smelters, which will allow us to take the product made by the smelter and just push it right into the assembler so it'll kick out a product for us.
The sorter is a transportation connector of cargoes between facilities. It will automatically transport them as long as the supply facility and the receiving facility are bridged.
Yeah, so like you just said, you're sorting stuff in and out of buildings, on and off of conveyor belts, that kind of thing. So they do need power, which they don't have right now. But that's okay. We'll leave them that way for a little bit. I'm going to make some more sorters because we're going to need quite a few. Excellent. We have our assembly building researched. That's going to help us a great deal in what we need to do next. So basically, this is the kind of layout that I want. Smelter, assembler, and then smelter on the other side of the assembler. One, like, right. You know, that ore node's gonna be in the way. I'm gonna have to get rid of. Well, let's see. Maybe I don't have to get rid of him. So if I put this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of these. Okay, so I'm gonna deconstruct those. And I'm going to place them out a little bit farther so I can fit my assemblers in here. I'm going to tighten organize, but I don't want it too tight that I'm giving up space that I could use for something else. So, and I always like to leave a little bit of room for a conveyor belt to run by the building if I need it. Okay, so that looks good. I'm going to run my copper this way past these smelters. Put our smelters down here in the same kind of configuration that we have on the other side. Then I need 2 assemblers to go in between those smelters, which I don't have the resources to make those. It's alright, I'll go grab them really quick. Grab some extra. See what I can do now. Okay. Queue 2 of those up so I can make those when they're done. And basically these first 3 assemblers are going to be making one of the components that we need for research. And then I'm going to have another one set up similar to this, 6 smelters, 3 assemblers that are going to be producing the other product that I need. So basically we need magnetic coils and we need circuit boards. And And once we have those two, we can take those two products and make a blue cube. The blue cube then gets used for research. Automatically, you can build a building, the matrix lab, which will take in blue cubes and give you progress towards your research. It helps you research things faster. So that is our goal here with setting up all this automated production. We're probably going to need more power as well as more Tesla towers so that we can distribute that power around. Definitely going to need that. Got that building set up. So this area is set up the way we want. We need all of our sorters connected, which we don't quite have yet. We need power to all the buildings so that we can start our production. Now, I take sorters and I run them right out of the product building into the assembler. I find that's more efficient than using a conveyor belt to move them, because they'll instantly, just as soon as that product's made, it'll get sorted right into the assembly plant. And then what you can do is you could run a conveyor out of the assembly plant and run it to a storage, for instance, right? So that way as soon as you make something, it's getting spit out and put into a storage, and you're constantly in production unless you run out of the resources for building the products you need in the assembler. Then everything should be fine. So we're going to copy this recipe.
After selecting the recipe, you can use the less than key to copy the recipe and the greater than key to paste the next building that needs to set the same recipe.
So we're going to do our magnetic coils in this production group here. And for that, we need to make the magnets with our iron ore. Copy that recipe across, and there you go. Everything is now being produced in the assemblers. Now they'll get to about 20, and they'll stop. So we want to set up a storage facility.
You built a storage, which can be used to store cargo. You can manually store or use the sorter to automatically stock the cargo.
And we will put some sorters in there, so as soon as a product gets produced, it'll come out onto the conveyor and go right into the storage. And so that's so production doesn't stop. It's just going to keep going and going and going. And that building will be freed up to make more and more and more. And you'll end up with a storage facility that has a lot of resources in it. And when you're ready to use them, you can use a conveyor belt and send it somewhere else. For this purpose, we're going to send it to our matrix labs when they're done, right out of the storage, right into the matrix lab. And hopefully we won't run into any production issues doing that. It's kind of a work in progress, so I'm hoping this pans out the way I expect it to. Alright, so we gotta queue a bunch of stuff up right now. And like I said in the last video, that's kind of the name of the game here with this. With the first couple hours in this game is just, well, really like the first hour in this game, you're just waiting for things to queue up and get done. It's a good time to kind of play this game sort of semi-AFK, go eat a sandwich, while you're waiting for stuff to process, come back. Is it done yet? No? Okay, go back. Get a beer, something, keep going until everything's done. I'm going to set up my conveyor for the second production line here, which is going to be making just iron ingots, and then of course copper ingots, just like we did before on the other side. Now that's actually not going to be long enough. I'm going to need 3 smelters over here. Let me think how I'm going to do this. I want it to all go one.
You can now click the planet thumbnail button in the lower left corner of the screen, or press the M key to try the planet view mode.
I'm going to take that storage out for a minute. I'm going to put it between. That should probably be okay right there, I'm thinking. And then I gotta put the I need to set up the smelter so that I can have the conveyor belt going one direction. I don't want it going two different directions. So I'm trying to decide whether I want to take it back towards the other production, the other factories, or if I want to bring it. Yeah, I want to do that because I think this is going to be wasted space if I don't do that. So let me grab some resources here. I'm going to make my assemblers that I need to make. And then if I place them similar to how I placed them on the other side, I need to come out far enough that I can get a conveyor belt in there. Okay. Logistically, this might be challenging because I'm going to want two storage units, one for the magnetic coils, one for the circuit boards. But I need to produce the circuit boards, which is what I'm working on right now. And I want the conveyor belt to go one direction. So I want it to go back towards everything that's already being produced. And then of course on this side, easy, we just line them up again and we have them kick out the copper ingots that the other smelters are doing. That whole side of the line is going to just be copper ingots. Okay. This might be wildly inefficient, so I may change this at some point because there's a lot of conveyor there. And that might actually slow the production down a bit if we have to, go that far. Once I have the foundations, I can kind of stop up some of this water here and I can put a smelter closer to the production line, which will help. You don't want it to travel too far on a conveyor belt if you don't have to. For now, this will be okay, but we may want to change that at some point. Okay, so that's all set up. Got our assemblers going. So we can start pumping out our circuit boards here. Need some power. That's probably a good spot right there. I think that should power everything now except the stuff on the end. I'll grab that. Okay, so we got stuff going. Got sorters going into the smelters, but we need to hook them up to the assemblers, which we're doing right now. And make a few more of those. Copy these recipes over while I'm waiting. I want to make the iron ingots in these smelters, which are used in the circuit boards. And then of course we want to make circuit boards in our assembly plants. Now it's totally possible that when we turn this on after we've got everything hooked up that we're going to have a power shortage. Yeah, we already have a power shortage. Look at that. Again, power is going to be a struggle at the beginning here, unless you make like 1 million, wind turbines, which I don't like to do because you can't break down resources in this game, so you end up just stockpiling a whole bunch of them. I like to make the minimum amount that I need to get up and running, and then switch to a different type of power. So. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. So in the next episode, we're going to shore up our power. We're going to start pumping out some of these products into a lab. So this is episode 2. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks all. Kraegan out.